Very good.
Okay,
Very good.
welcome, Excellency.
I don't know where.
Oh.
In the common law, it's called the Erin-Ford injunction. My Lord, the Madhupepa injunction operates on quite a simple premise, the premise of human fallibility. In the case of Erin-Ford, where that injunction originates, Justice Megari, after dismissing an application for injunction like you have now, found still that there could be the slightest chance that he was wrong. Here, there could be the slightest chance that you're wrong. Last week, this court gave the Deputy President leave to appeal. We thank the court for that generosity. The Deputy President has appealed. He also has pending before the Court of Appeal an application for stay of these proceedings, and that application comes up on the 6th of November 2024. My Lord, operating on the premise of human fallibility, the foundation of the Erin-Ford or Madhupepa injunction, we request you to recognize that you could be wrong. And if you're wrong, then the pending proceedings before the Court of Appeal would be rendered nugatory. To avoid that possibility, the possibility that the Deputy President's right to appeal, which you recognized and affirmed and upheld by giving him leave to appeal, even where he needed none, we ask you to issue a Madhupepa injunction. We do not seek an indefinite injunction. We seek an injunction until 6th of November 2024, when we are next before the Court of Appeal. Thank you, my Lord.
My Lord,
we also have a moment to bite the cherry.
the Black Bull, okay.
Yeah. My lords, I want to associate myself with the submissions made by my learned friend, and also state that I have listened keenly to the ruling that has been delivered by this honorable court. While we largely disagree with it and we have a right of appeal, Your Lordship, it is imperative for us to know or to assess how that office of the Deputy President will be filled. This court has affirmed its commitment to observe the rule of law and protect the Constitution as decreed under Article 3 of the Constitution. It follows, therefore, Your Lordship, my ladies, that the filling of that vacancy must flow or must follow the Constitution. And as such, Your Lordship, and as much as I have not heard the court address that very pertinent issue, it is my submission, Your Lordship, that I rise under Rule 23. Beg your pardon? Rule 23 and Rule 24 of the Mutunga Rules. And I make an application, Your Lordship, that pending the determination of this application, done under Rule 24, thus this Honorable Court does issue conservatory orders suspending the swearing in of Professor Kithure Kindiki on the following grounds. Your Lordship, Article 10 of this Constitution, of the Constitution, bids this Honorable Court to observe the rule of law. It further calls upon this Honorable Court to commit itself to ensure that there is good governance, there is accountability and transparency in the manner in which matters are done or functions are executed.
My Lord, with your kind permission,
It's an application.
Mr. Jero has referred to an application for which he's seeking some orders pending, but we haven't seen any application in that regard.
Yes, Your Lordship, if Mr. Kamotho was keen to read the rules, the Mutunga rules allows me to move you informally, and subsequent to me making an application informally, the court is called upon to reduce the same into a formal application. And that, Your Lordship, I want to draw his attention to Rule 24, Sub-Rule 1. An application under Rule 23 may be made by way of notice of motion or by an informal document. Your Lordship, permit me to proceed with the grounds of my application. It is clear, Your Lordship, that the court...
My Lord, if I may, I respect my learned friends. My Lord, I respect... Yes, I respect Mr. Njiru. He's referring to an application that is non-existent. Either is referring to E554. Mr. Kamina, sit down. E554 of 2024, which is before the Court of Appeal, if you are referring to that application. But my Lord, if my learned friend is referring to the exercise of this court of epistolary jurisdiction, then he should say so. But he cannot refer to the exercise of that jurisdiction, my Lord, when this court is functas officio. You have rendered yourself on the question of the application. And therefore, they cannot urge an application unless they say, my Lord, number one, is either served on us, or two, my Lord, because there's already an application for stay under Section 5(2)(b) of the Appellate Jurisdictions Act before the Court of Appeal that is live and that has a date. This court would not have jurisdiction to entertain any other application for stay. They tried making an application before the Court of Appeal this morning using the same issues, my Lord, and the Court of Appeal rejected the application. They were told to serve everyone else. So, my Lord, for my learned friend to come here and to seek to apply for stay again, having a second bite at the cherry, is dishonest, my Lord. It's dishonest. They are before the Court of Appeal.
So may I suggest, Professor Genda, that could be your response to the application which will be made by Ndegwa?
Yes, if there's an application, yes.
Thank you, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, permit me to move on with my application, and I urge Professor Ojenda to have a look at the rules that I have just referred to. That, Your Lordship, you be kind enough to interrogate the circumstances under which that office shall be filled. Your Lordship, it is on record, and I invite the court to take judicial notice, that there is a clear non-existence of a crucial state organ that is supposed to oversee the processes of filling of that office in the name of the Independent Electoral and Boundary Commission. Your Lordship, the Independent and Boundary Commission is created under Article 88 of the Constitution, and the functions are created therein. One of the functions, my lady, is to maintain a voters register, is to register voters. Under Article 99, Your Lordship, of the Constitution, as read together with Article 137, creates the qualifications upon which the president or the deputy president must attain if one is to hold office. My ladies, my lord, it is clear that the functions created under Article 99 of the Constitution can only be executed and or implemented by the Independent Electoral and Boundary Commission. It goes without saying, my ladies, my lords, that a deputy president designate or nominated must attain those qualifications. That is to mean, my ladies, my lord, that there must be an organ that will give a clean bill of health to say or to suggest that Professor Kithure Kindiki attains these qualifications. My lords, my ladies, I refer to the memorandum that was sent to the Speaker of the National Assembly by the President of the Republic of Kenya, dated the 18th of October 2024. In that memorandum, your lordship, the President drew the attention of the Speaker to the clearance of the designated candidate by the IBC. And this is what the President had to say. Your lordship, the President indicated that he has had confirmation that Professor Kithure Kindiki meets and attains the qualifications created under Article 99 as read together with Article 113 of the Constitution. My ladies, my lords, when the President of the Republic referred to the IBC, and I call upon the court to take judicial notice of that document, it was a presumption that that confirmation was done by the Electoral and Boundary Commission as created by the Constitution. My ladies, my lords, it is my humble appeal that this honorable court does fight in my favor to issue the conservatory order on the basis that there is no clearance that has been issued by the IBC.
My lord,
we all know, my ladies, my lords.
My lord, may I kindly seek your guidance? When Mr. Njiru started off, we thought it would be a simple and a straightforward application. But now, seeing the trajectory it has taken, he has raised an avalanche of issues for which we would require them reduced in a particular format so that we can seek instructions from our clients. So we'll be seeking that we get a formal thing that will enable us to seek instructions from our clients. Dr. Kamodo for the 10th respondent.
Your Lordship, I am making an application on the basis of the law. Your Lordship, if it is not crucial for us to have an IBC to confirm whether Professor Kithure Kindiki is a registered voter, that would mean, Your Lordship, that a person can go to Mathare Hospital and designate a person to become a deputy president. The qualifications created by the Constitution have a mechanism of being established, Your Lordships. And the process of establishing those qualifications, Your Lordship, is set down and out in law. Your Lordship.
Mr. Njiru, my understanding,
yes, Your Lordship.
When you first asked for this conservatory order,
yes, Your Lordship,
under Madu paper,
yes, Lord.
That
is his application.
Yeah.
I have on a different application. I moved under Article 23.
Because 23. My understanding is that if you want the court to give conservatory orders immediately after rendering a ruling or a judgment, that application can be verbal but also very short, because the court is already aware, has already expressed itself.
That's correct.
So that kind of application cannot be the beginning of another big
Your Lordship, I am well guided.
So I think for the purposes of the discretion of the
yes,
bench,
Lordship.
For the purposes of the discretion of the bench,
yes,
I think Mr. Ochieng's application is what we should be considered. Your application evidently requires to be formal.
Your Lordship, I am well guided by the court, but the court also needs to perhaps appreciate the import of Rule 24, that due to the vulnerability of the rights and the vulnerability of the infringement and the violation of the Constitution, I can appear before you.
Rights cannot be vulnerable. Individuals are.
May I have
Not
my
right.
time and then you have your response, Professor? Your Lordship, this application is premised again on Article 3. The call upon every person to protect the Constitution. And as I pen off, it is all clear to us that nobody can deny, not this court, not myself, nobody can bury his head under the sun, that there is no IBC. If Kithure Kindiki is to be sworn in tomorrow, what will be the import of swearing in a person who has not been verified and approved by the organ that is supposed to do so? Finally, Your Lordship, can this court fold its hands and watch and midwife and babysit a violation of the Constitution? What is the role of the court when it comes to the issue of Article 3 of the Constitution and the question of the sovereignty of the people? Your Lordship, I beg that you hear us. I beg that you grant the conservatory order staying the swearing in of Professor Kithure Kindiki on the basis that he has not qualified to hold that office. Secondly, on the basis that his purported qualification has not been verified by the body that is mandated to do so. In the absence of that, Your Lordship, you will be inviting us to say that even an insane person can become deputy president, a bankrupt person can become deputy president.
Objection.
I rest my case.
My Lord, let me respond to...
So that
can I respond, my Lord?
Professor Agenda and,
Yes, my Lord.
and every other council who is seated, please sit down. We have two applications, and this is not going to be a start of another court process. It's not going to be a start of another court process. The applications which have been made are discretional. So I'll only allow one response, and then we'll render a ruling. Only one response.
Yeah, my Lord, if I may respond, my Lord.
My Lord, kindly, with your permission. With your permission.
My Lord, you've made a ruling.
Okay, let me hear two people from this side.
Okay, then two from... You're one person.
Dr. Kaminwa, please say what you want to say and be mindful of time, please.
Yeah, I want to take my time. Justice Eric Ogola, Justice Anthony Murima, and Lady Justice Frida Gandhi. I've listened to what you have said very carefully. And from my point of view, one who is interested in developing the students of the country, you have done so. You have developed this man as a country. But there is one thing I would like to point out to you very respectfully. That we are operating in very dangerous waters with strong currents. And this is an area where we have to call for wisdom. We have to call for deeper understanding of human nature and for deeper understanding of the society in which we live in Kenya. And what I'm saying to you is reflected in my broad pleading of the authorities in cases in the United States of America. Your Honor, if I may say so with respect, perhaps more than anybody else, when I was engaged to get involved in this case,